We are Squawking Dead, a podcast pulverizing episodes of the Walking Dead universe. Sometimes we give you news, sometimes we make you laugh, but most times we go motherfucking deep. And guess who we have here today? Guess what the cat dragged in? Chris from BMNY DeadCast. It's been forever. Say hi, everybody.
Yay!
That's right. That's right. That's right. And
golf clap.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
And as of course, Rachel, Cosmom09, I'm David Cameo, and Chris, let's just do a quick recap. What have you been up to? Just on a really quick, brief thing.
Well, for those obviously who might not know, I live in New York, so we've been one of the harder hit areas, as you know, Dave, and I'm sure everybody else knows. We literally got pulverized up here with everything going on COVID. I work in the healthcare field as doing contract security, and I know it's been a very long year for everyone, but being in the face of it, day in and day out, it's been definitely a struggle. I mean, you know, everybody has been dealing with a lot. You've been on lockdown, you've been confined to your home or wherever. And man, I've seen a lot in the past year. I've seen a lot of depression. I've obviously seen a lot of death. I've seen a lot of sickness. Knock on wood. And, you know, thank you to the guy upstairs. I have been healthy through the whole thing, which is a godsend with everything that I deal with on a daily basis. Looks like we're at the light at the end of the tunnel. We are running still pretty much every day of the week COVID testing, and we started the COVID vaccine about 6 weeks ago when they first came out with Moderna and Pfizer, and that's operating at full scale every day. So I mean, the county I live in is doing an amazing job at trying to get people vaccinated if they want it. It's, you know, obviously you sign up for it and you get it if you want it, and people have been happy to get it. You know, obviously the senior people and anyone who's a frontline worker, who obviously I work hand in hand with every day. Those people that I work with at the hospital that I work at, and I know the surrounding hospitals, we've suffered a lot of loss. You know, it's been sad, but the ones that are here and the ones that are not here right now, I'm grateful for everybody.
Politics aside, obviously, like everybody's doing their best to get this stuff rolled out as soon as possible. And
yeah,
you know, if the again, politics aside, if the governments can't do it, the people fill in. It seems like. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I've seen like different organizations kind of like say, hey, this vaccine is going to be going to expire like in 30 hours, you know, 3 hours or whatever it is. Come to this fucking center, get vaccinated, or else it goes to waste, you know? So things like that happen like every single day right now. I mean, the goal right now, I think, is by the end of the year, having like 100 million Americans vaccinated for this thing. So I think it'll happen. I mean, we're already well on our way.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know that this past week they did a pop-up event. They had it at a local college, and I think in the few days that they were there, they banged out over like 4,000 or 5,000 people.
Boom.
Yeah, I mean, and these people are working. They're working. They're a lot of people. It's not like everyone thinks that everyone's making all this overtime money or whatever. And come to find out that a lot of the people who are doing the vaccinations and are signing up for this stuff are just either volunteering to do it because they want to help, or they're working their actual shift at work, and that's what they're doing that day.
I've seen like little hints of this on a Walking Dead level, like mentality, like just people going, yeah, I'm obese, and then just getting their vaccine shot. So, you know, like things like that. People are just doing what they can to get vaccinated. And like, it's not like the worst like lie in the world, because you get vaccinated, now you're protecting the people around you. So it's just like, okay, it's a good white lie.
You know, you go by the herd mentality, the herd immunity thing, and I mean, I guess it's plausible. You know what I mean? Like, I imagine it's something that will eventually come into hand if enough people get vaccinated. You know, I mean, for the longest time, I've been on the fence about getting it, just because I'm a healthy individual. I have no history of any kind of, you know, I don't have high blood pressure, nothing. I don't have anything. So it's like, yeah, I know it's only like one vaccine, but that's one vaccine someone else who needs it can get. Yeah. So, you know, like I said, I consider myself very lucky, very fortunate to be healthy, and, you know, letting the people who need it get it.
Yeah, I've been in the same, well, not the same position, but like, look, I've been working from home also. So I've had the same exact mentality. I'm like, guys, my wife needs it first. She's an educator. She's actually going back to school on Thursday, preparing for school next week for people to come in, for the kids to come in, high school kids. So I'm like, I can wait. But then now my in-laws are getting at me right now. They're like, get get vaccinated. What are you, an anti-vax? Like, because it escalates, right? Just like, get vaccinated. Like, I can wait. Let people get it. Like, no, are you an anti-vaxxer? What do you hate America? I'm like, oh, hold on. Okay, I'll get it. I'll get the vaccine. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not against it. No, you are against it if you don't get it. Is this going to end in tears for me?
Yeah. You're gonna beat up.
I'm gonna get beat up by my in-laws. Now it's just like I'm saying to myself, okay, maybe I'll get the fucking Johnson & Johnson, get a one shot, I'm done, get them off my back, move on. Yeah. No, because I wanted to go to the camp, by the way, and that's kind of like what I was going to lead into. And it's like, if I get that, I'll have that much more security. I'll feel a lot better about being with other people, meeting other people, perhaps hugging a few people. I don't know.
I have a funny feeling that no matter what, people are going to be hugging. Yeah. You know, wear a mask, do the smart thing. Yeah. When you're, and that's really all I've told people is, look, I know that there's a large majority of people who are against this whole thing. Right. If you don't want to wear the mask, obviously, you see people driving their car and they're wearing a mask and they're by themselves. I'm like, well, I don't know who else you're protecting, but whatever. I mean, you don't want your car to get COVID. Yeah, I get it. But, I just like that kind of like mentality where I see people driving their vehicle with a mask and I'm like, maybe a little bit too far.
Right. Exactly.
Or like, I see like people walking their dog on the side of the road and they have a mask on. I'm like, well, you're outside and you're walking your dog and there's no one around you. But you know what? To each their own. If that makes you feel better and you feel safer, then you know what, do it. I don't care. You're not hurting me any. So it's just, I just kind of wish like people would just let other people do as they please, let them live the life they want, and just worry about yourself. Yeah. If this is how you want to live, that's cool. But if you're going to be around set amount of people, do the respectable thing and wear the mask, at least when you're around those people. Yeah, it's been a little weirder here because obviously you guys are both in like kind of like suburby kind of areas. Obviously it's different here in New York City because it's like, all right, you can't step outside without a mask. It's just a fact of life. I mean, it's not really me making a statement of any kind, because I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. You're outside. Nothing's going to happen. You're in the general outside. Now, if you're going to go into a bodega, you're going to go put your laundry away or do your laundry, now you can put your mask on. Okay. But like, if you're just walking around, it's not so bad, but you're in New York City now you're making a statement. You're just making a statement right now. Because all I see are people with masks. I can't show you right now because I don't have one near me, but it's just like people are walking around with masks on their chin now, which is interesting. I find that interesting because now there's that shift. There's like half the people are out with the mask on their chin, half of them have it on their face. Obviously the white people have it on their face, whatever. Anyway, so I'm just saying, it's the high populated areas. It's just like, you can't get around it. It's just like, you know what? I don't want any problems. It's no skin off my neck or my face. Let's just do it. Yeah. Charity's like, it keeps my face warm. It's actually true. I'm like, I'm thankful. It does. When the wind hurts your face, the mask actually helps the wind not hurt your face. And allows you to breathe. I mean, that stupid flimsy cloth mask or whatever. Yeah, that helps. Yeah, the one thing that has been entertaining lately, and I'm sure you guys have heard about it or came across, is the article that the CDC put out about the zombie apocalypse. Did you guys hear about the article the CDC put out? A while ago. It's something they put out like a long time ago that made its resurgence, I think. I think they've updated it. It's so zombie protocols, basically. Yeah, basically. But what they did is they took your basic emergency preparedness situation and wrapped it into a zombie apocalypse theme, drew all this attention to it, and got all these uneducated people about emergency preparedness educated about emergency preparedness. It was like, this is actually one of the smartest things I've ever seen them do. Yeah, because they've had these for a while. There's like 2008 or something like that. And they did, and it came back 2000. Because we reported on this during the COVID period. It's still the COVID period, but you know what I mean. But 2008, then 2013, it resurfaced again when they updated it, and then now recently it came out again. Yeah, you go on social media and you see people commenting about how the CDC's, and now because it coincides with the vaccine and COVID, and now CDC. Now the CDC is putting out something about zombies, and it's just everyone's like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "This is how dumb a lot of you people are. Is you don't realize they're taking advantage of the fact that this is a national kind of emergency, and they're getting all you people who are uneducated to go to their website read about emergency preparedness, labeling it a zombie apocalypse, and you're all educated now. So congratulations.
Caught your attention.
Yeah, caught your attention.
Congratulations. We got you. But then, you know that there's obviously that other half of that contingent going, this is the real deal. Like, you get the vaccine, you turn into zombies. I know what's up.
Yeah.
It's going down.
Exactly.
The earth is flat.
Man, I've definitely seen a lot of conspiracy things that I'm just like, this is very interesting. The fact that a lot of people have that time on their hands to indicate that the 5G towers are now going to activate the micro nano bots that are in the vaccines. They're going to turn everybody into these brainless people. I'm just like, hey, if the government's got it and they did it, what are you going to do?
Yeah, exactly. Let's just roll with it. Mm-hmm. And Bernie Sanders has his finger on the button. Oh my God. Socialists are taking over the country.
We all know Biden does it because they took that power away.
Oh yeah, but he was the first test case, right? We controlled him. Now he's in office, right? Okay, let's cut this out. I might leave that in. Speaking of brainless test subjects, welcome to Squawking Dead, where we talk about conspiracy theories and while making sure you're vaccinated.
Why not?
No, but I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you made it through this period at least. It sounds like I guess that's the real question. It sounds like you made it to the other side of this. You're at a place where you want to get into it. We're going to ease you back into it. Chris, this is like the podcast steps to bringing you back into the fold.
Exactly. I tried reaching out, obviously, a couple of weeks ago, and it's not that my life at work has gotten any easier. It's just that there is a larger window of open time that I have now, which is nice.
Yeah.
A lot, when I mean a lot, has happened over the past year and a half for me personally, outside of COVID. It's been a roller coaster of a ride.
Yeah. If you are someone who's bought us a coffee at ko-fi.com/squawkingdead, we will continue recording. I'm going to probe Chris for more questions and hopefully get some answers on that. So if you wait till the end of the episode, you might get that at the end of the recording. Head over to you can head to squawkingdead.com, click that little button, buy us a coffee, download the unedited episode, and you're on your way. You basically help us support the podcast. You get unedited episodes, you can be part of the recordings, you get a bunch of other perks that we just talked about before the show. Chris wasn't on yet, so I'll tell him later. But we're starting to think of ways to kind of incentivize you guys supporting us. So thank you for that. Guys, this episode is begging to be crushed by Aaron's mace right now, and I think we're going to be the ones to do it. You know what? Now that Chris is on here, Rach, sorry, you're going to have to take a back seat. What was your overall impression of this episode?
Overall, for the first 3 episodes, I've actually been very impressed. I know that there was a lot of slack on the solo episode, if you want to call it, with Daryl, but I actually enjoyed it. I think he needed a little love, with where he's been with the past 5 years and everything. So, I mean, I actually thought it was a pretty decent episode. I know he got a lot of flack for it, but I didn't mind it. As far as this past week, great screenplay by Seth and
Ross Marquand.
I think those two together on screen with that kind of throwback to survival, and everything that they had to go through. It shows a lot of growth as far as what they've learned. I thought that the baking timer and throwing it in the field was great. Seeing them kind of out of their shell, drunk, so to speak, quote unquote. I don't know how you act drunk. I mean, I know but to act like you're intoxicated, unless they really got drunk, but to act intoxicated, I don't think is an easy feat. You know what I mean? It's got to be something that, I'm sure you can sit there and practice a slur or whatever, but the episode as a whole, it brought like a good vibe back to just the show.
I think I know what you mean, kind of like the season 4-5 vibes where they're kind of beaten down a bit. Is that what you're kind of going with?
I mean, you definitely see the strain of their trip that they're on through Aaron's fit. I mean, he's obviously very distraught. All the killing, what Seth did, to Maze, smacking him with the mace and all that stuff. It's just distraught, and it's you can see that he's currently obviously just going through way too much for right now.
Right.
But I mean, look, I would have done the same thing as Gabriel. There's no way I'm bringing that guy back to my camp.
Overall, this episode is supposed to hit people on 2 fronts. It's been purposefully trying to get you to split you apart in half. It's supposed to get you to I noticed right from the beginning, and Rachel, I don't know if you saw this this as well. From the onset, first of all, obviously killing walkers, always great. But that opening shot was so beautiful. Like just watching the flowers and being like, oh, is this a World Beyond episode? Huh? What? With the beauty, with the beauty in the chaos and the terror, right? Because it was you felt like, oh, this is kind of natural, wild, and then all of a sudden the blood drops. The walkers are all killed, blood is all over the flowers. And then, but right from the onset, you move into like, they move to that little cottage and you see that there's like a burnt family, like mother, father, child kind of situation. Yeah. And then you're seeing both reactions from both characters, and they're like, one is reacting one way. It appears as though they're like reacting the same way, but as you move further into the episode, you're seeing they're not reacting the same way. They're doing this differently. Even looking at the walkers themselves, like that one walker by that fence post. Yeah. And I love when the show gets to do this. I don't know if you guys felt the same. For the first time in a long time, I actually felt something for the walker. The walker wasn't like, it wasn't like, it was like, like it was pitiful, right? And he was merged with the post, and like again, like a World Beyond kind of reference too. So I'm like, my mentality's like already there. We just got off I'm traumatized. Let's put it that way. I was looking at the walker on the rooftop. I'm like, oh shit, what did that one go through? The couple that was in the bed again, embracing his bones, and I'm like, I'm feeling something here. Why am I feeling this now for walkers? Why am I feeling this? But it's on purpose. It's fucking on purpose. And it's fucked up. Thank you so much, Laura Belzy. And what's the other motherfucker? I wrote his name down so this way I can cancel them later. Scott Cavon, the director of photography for this one. I'm like, y'all's is canceled. Get me to feel things. By the way, speaking of Laura Belzy, who's the director for this episode, there was an interview that Just Keep Walking got like right away on Monday of her. So if you want to check that out, you should definitely check their channel out. They just like nailed. It was like, hey, we even got references for you. So check that out. It's pretty good. I don't know. I'll link to it at some point in the description or whatever. But what was your guys' takes when you saw those things? Did you guys feel the same things I did?
I actually called the opening scene a beautiful bloodbath. It was like gruesome but beautiful at the same time.
Oh, but like seeing the walkers also, not just the people who died.
Yeah, I called him the I'm too tired walker. He's just too tired. Like, I see you there, but
it's like punching a clock. This walker's punching a clock.
I thought that was really cool when they threw the timer out there, and then slowly all the rest of the sleepy walkers get up, and I'm like, oh, they were napping.
I like that take. I didn't think of that. But all I was thinking was like season 9 vibes. Like, this is the last time we saw the egg timer was with Jesus, Daryl, and Aaron, by the way, which is those two characters at the very least. But then in the field, when we're kind of getting like a whiff of the whispers, like why are they changing patterns? Why are they not following the sound? You'd think you'd seen it by now, but we haven't until from 2 years ago, or just about 2 years ago, right? Like in real world times.
Oh yeah,
right. 2 years for us.
But that's a really good take, though. Like, sleepy walkers, like, I was like, I'm reluctantly. But doesn't that say something also? Like, okay, both Aaron and Gabriel don't want to be out there. The walkers don't want to be out there. Nobody wants to be out there.
It also kind of told me that it's probably been a while since a person's been through there. I mean, they all just sort of laid down and gave up. So,
which I like seeing, though, every now and again, too. Like, the show, like, reminds us that, like, occasionally this happens. Like, I remember the last time, the notable time that I remember seeing this was, like, I'm thinking back to The Governor. Okay, and, like, Tara and her sister and her sister's kid, and she's playing by the pile of
Lily and Megan.
Yeah, Lily and Megan, right? They're playing by the pile of dirt or sand or whatever. And then she's disturbed, like she lifts up the sign. Yeah. But like, they're dormant. They're like lying in wait, and like until somebody comes along and alerts them, they come up. Usually we just see them walking around. We haven't seen that in a while. Yeah, and Charity's saying they go dormant, conserving their energy until prey comes along. Energy. But yeah, like between the dead bodies, between the tired walkers, like there's something about like I don't know, I haven't felt something for a long time for a walker per se. Yeah. And then you start seeing these walkers being tied up, and you see that the one at the post, and you're like, okay, I see what you're doing here. And Aaron's seeing this, and he's like, I just want to get home to my kid. But Gabe is seeing this, and I noticed something very interesting with Gabe, because you see this in more than just the way he reacts to the dead bodies, burnt dead bodies, to the walkers. It's even when he sees the can, like he's like, oh, I found like a bag of groceries, and then he turns it around, he's like, oh shucks, bullet hole. You see him like almost be like like he's he's almost losing his shit, but then he just pauses and moves on, and he's like, 2 more. Yeah. And I noticed something. It's like throughout this episode with Gabe, I feel like he's replaced religion with stoicism. Like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with what stoicism is, but it's the idea that, boiled down, it's a person who chooses to endure patiently. And in other words, I like to bring up video games. Video games is the best analogy for stoicism, because Chris, when you and me were playing video games, there was a lot less rage quitting, a lot of swearing. Obviously, there was swearing, right? We always swore, but we would plug at it. We'd plug at it until we finally beat the boss, let's say, right? You know, we didn't complain. We didn't go, I'm being oppressed. No, we just kept playing until we defeated the thing. We're getting really political now, but like that's the point. That's a version of stoicism. Yeah, you'd react here and there. You'd be like, God damn it, but then you keep going. Gabriel is choosing to keep going. You know,
hey, why do only you and Chris play video games? I'm a gamer too.
You know, I'm talking about when we were like little kids. Okay. We're also older than you. We're playing games while he's still in diapers.
You're nothing but a child.
Shit, chump.
Not by much.
Sit down, kid.
You're washed up. I'm kidding. But I say Kristen because we're like really close in age. Because we're older.
And I could never relate to rage quitting, right?
Rachel, do you want to be 40 something? Let me ask you a simple question.
I'm almost there.
Yet?
I'm almost there.
Okay, well, hold on. Let's take a step back here. I once said out loud to a bunch of people, I think this was at Walker Star, I was like, oh yeah, we're all in about our 40s. And you did this thing like, excuse me, I am not 40 just yet. I'm like, noted, I will never do that again. I won't even do that when you turn 40. I'm not gonna, look, I'm married. I know how to do this.
I probably won't tell anyone when I turn 40.
Nisa, you're not actually 58. You wish. I think that's the thing. I think she wishes she's 58. No, Charity, you're not 69 and a half. I mean, you're telling people something, but you get the idea. Like when you're playing video games, there's no room for like getting that stressful feeling, throwing the controller across the room, which you do see now because kids are fucking stupid. But you know, you didn't have that back then. You didn't really have that because we would just keep plugging away until we got it, you know, until we nailed it. Maybe we put the controller down and be like, okay, I need to step away, but then we'd step back and we'd do it again and we'd get it done.
Or we'd also have the parent that would come and smack us across the mouth for being an asshole.
Yeah, that, and because we were tricky too, right? Because we'd be playing. Okay, yeah, I'm done. Let me just save the game, right? The save the game thing was always the best one. Or like, all right, yeah, I've turned it off. Like you put a sheet over the game of the console, and you turn the TV off because they think, oh yeah, the game's off now, right? No, we sneak in at midnight and then we keep playing. That was a fun one. I want you to keep that in the back of your mind. The idea of stoicism with Gabe. It's almost as if he's traded his religion for stoicism, for a philosophy. And you see in various instances throughout the episode, I don't know if we're going to get into all of that, but there's one in particular that I thought was like next level stoicism. So again, people think that being a stoic means you have to repress and suppress your emotions, you have to push them down, which stoicism gets a bad rap for that. It's like, it's not really supposed to be that. It's more like managing your emotions, channeling your feelings into the goal. The idea of upholding virtue, and again, in accordance to nature. So the idea is, if it means survival, if it means getting certain things done, if you have to get this thing done in order to eat, in order to live your life, in order to create beauty, in order to construct something, in order to add to the universe, then you need to channel your feelings into the work. You know, contrast it with Aaron. I feel like Aaron's holding on with a thread. I'm holding on. I'm like literally piggybacking off of Gabe's will right now because I don't have it. You know, and yet there's something else that we see in the episode, and there's like this reference almost to like Aaron being Gabe's soul. Let's say, like if Gabe could remove his soul and put it into somebody else and keep going, he would put in Aaron. I noticed because of some of the things that Aaron says, being out there, finding people and bringing them in. That felt good. I don't know what makes feel Gabe good anymore.
I think Maze, hit it on the head when it came to
Maze hit it on the head.
Yeah, when he was talking to Gabriel about evil, being the how evil is taken over. Gabe has to sit there and reel himself back in because I was watching Talking Dead and Seth was on the show. And one of the questions from a viewer was, when are we going to be able to see, angry Gabe again? And he kind of was like, oh, they haven't really told me anything about that yet. This is obviously after I watched the episode. I'm like, there's a little foreshadowing. He knew, that angry Gabe was coming. I enjoy this side of it because it kind of brings me to like Clear Morgan crazy.
Yeah.
Where I feel like Gabe is going in that direction. You can be, there's nothing wrong with being a person of faith and still doing what is right, even though it's wrong.
Right. Which, by the way, brings in feelings of like four walls and a roof. And who was Gabe in that scenario? More like the Aaron. He was like looking on. He was like, like he was looking at like all this stuff, and he was just like, what the fuck did I just invite to my house? Like what? And now it's the other way. Like Gabe is literally Rick with the machete right now at this point, or with a mace. Yeah. Same thing, right?
Probably,
What a weird reversal. Nisa says, by the way, Gabe Smash is so sexy. And when I said, what does Gabe do for, like, what does Gabe get enjoyment out of? She says sex. I'm like, yeah, you're right. It is Rosita, I suppose, yeah. But they've been out there 2 weeks. I guess Aaron's getting the brunt of that. I don't know. So, what were you saying, Chris?
So when Gabriel climbs to the rooftop and he sees the one walker, tied up to the post, and the other ones are dead, and Aaron yells up, what do you see? What's up there? And he says, just a ladder.
A ladder.
Why do you think? Why do you think he skirted around that and didn't tell him? Do you think he actually knows that Aaron is slipping?
I think it is. You know what? I was going to bring up most of these, but like I latched onto mostly the stoicism part of it. Yeah. I think it's like what is it? There's an expression also like it's like Occam's razor, right? The simplest solution is the best one, right? Like why give Aaron a full report of what's up there? It doesn't do him any good. Aaron, like you said, Aaron is probably, he can feel that Aaron is slipping, like you said.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of it. But I also think there's something else going on here. If you look at Gabe's face when he sees these things, it's almost like he doesn't express it.
I see a little disgust. There's a little disgust.
Yeah, I was going to say disgust, but I was like, I wasn't ready to go there, but sure. And let's even skip to the end, right, Rach? Let's skip to the end where they're walking out of the room. Aaron goes first and he sees it. And I'm going to tell you what I'm talking about. He sees the picture of Maze and his brother. Mm-hmm. And he's like this. He's like, Aaron. And then with the blood on his face and everything. No, and I get it. Like, obviously, that's the thing. Like, okay, by the way, this brings me back to the conversation you and I had, Rachel, about, Aaron and Gamma and then Alden, right? About the argument over baby Adam. Like the whole like, oh, Gamma should be able to, it's his aunt, let her see her nephew and whatever. And you're like, no, fuck that bitch. And I'm like, oh shit. And I was like on Aaron's side, but then you're like, no, what did she got her mother killed, and like she hasn't earned their trust yet, even though it might be the end of the line for her. She hasn't earned it. But this comes back around again. Like it's like you're almost forced to see both sides of this and choose. You literally have to choose who you feel more towards. I'm not going to choose either because I know the game. I'm not playing this Russian roulette between these two characters. So we see Aaron walk out, whatever, and then you see Gabe, and you realize you can look at these two people looking the same way, exiting the same room, but then the camera whips around and shows you what they were looking at as they were leaving the room, and it's the picture of Maze and his brother and his family too. Gabe looks at the photo, stares at it, moves on. He goes, moves on, and that was just like, I didn't know what to think after that. Am I right in that he's just embracing the stoicism or just being consistent with that? Because there's something in this episode that makes me think otherwise. That he's like either like in full mastery of his emotions, which is fucking awesome. Fucking fuck Gabe. I'm gonna say fuck. Here's my fuck quota for this episode. I don't have a fuck quota. I just don't do it that often. But either he really, really knows what he's doing, which you wouldn't think. I mean, let's just be honest here. I think let's go 50-50 on the audience not even really liking Gabe or not having liked Gabe until this episode. And then like maybe now it's like 60-40, maybe 75-25. I don't know. But like a lot of people warmed to Gabe on this episode. Even Niso's just like, I've got sexy thoughts about Gabe's, but I'll settle for cuddling. Like that's the level to which like, okay, okay, I got the sexy feelings, but let's dial it down. Let's just do the cuddling first and see where it goes. But that's the point. Like you see Gabe in a different way, and it's on purpose. Yeah. We've seen this Gabe for all of season 10 actually, but we don't know why. We just don't know why, and we still don't know why yet. We don't know why Gabe is like this. We've seen it. Dante killing Dante. That's why they showed the intro killing Dante, burning his body. God told me to hang you. That whole shit, right? That fucking shit. I got chills. Like fucking hell. I'm like getting like my nipples just were erect a little bit. It was like I got goose pimples over here. What the hell? But then but why? Right? Why?
Yeah.
We don't know why. And we're getting closer. I feel like we're getting closer to that now. Oh, and of course, speaking of closer, you're so close, Maze says to Gabe. That was, again, that got me chills. Like when you watch the episode the second time around, you actually kind of know what Maze is talking about when he says, you're so close. Maze thinks he's got him. He's like, oh, you're so close to like being me. You're so close to where I'm at. You're ready for this. And then he eagerly goes into the room and pulls out Aaron, you know, like after shooting into the room. But that brings a question to mind. Do you feel like Gabe was maybe a hair's breadth away? I don't know if before, like maybe on first watch, I don't know. But do you feel like Gabe was a hair's breadth away from being that guy at first?
I did start to like Gabe when he killed Dante. I approved of that move. I did not approve of killing Maze. I'm not on that ship.
That's
not on
interesting.
it. What I saw in Gabe was him making a choice to detach himself from what he has to do. You were saying how Aaron was kind of losing it. What I saw was Gabe losing it, like not knowing where the line is anymore, like making a choice and then saying, "I'm right. Sorry,
okay.
but I'm sorry, but I'm right."
So did you feel like at some point that maybe Maze was right in some ways? Like, oh, I could get this guy to do what I want him to do.
No, I never.
Because you didn't feel that way. Okay, that's also good too.
Basically, Maze let them play a game that he thought he could win. You know, not knowing the two people he's with. I don't think that Gabe was close to being, you know, like him. Honestly, I think that if Gabe had a gun when he first saw me, would have shot him right in there and then and just would have kept moving.
Right, and
the mindset that he was in. And that would have been the end of the storyline right there for Maze.
I half thought that was going to happen during the game somehow. I don't.
Yeah.
That's why I said
That's
seemed
what
to
I
me
was
like
waiting
Gabe was
for.
detached from all of this.
Yeah.
Like that shouldn't be easy for him to do, and it is. And that bothered me how easy it was.
For whom to do?
Yeah.
Sorry, Gabe?
Yeah.
That's why I feel like it's not as simple as we're boiling it down to Gabe. It's not just like he's in kill mode like Morgan or something, or Rick even. Let's just say it.
I think if the pistol would have chambered if Gabe had the gun, I think he would have just pointed it as he was going to move it towards Aaron and shoot Maze instead. Like I was waiting for that to happen.
Right.
Because I'm like, this is the mindset that Gabe's in. He's looking for his window to end this, and we got one more place to go.
Right.
You know, he's thinking about the water tower. He don't care about anything else.
So are we.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like that too. Like, yeah, and kind of a good thing. Like if Gabe was the one to have, I don't know, the roulette ball or whatever, like the bullet in the chamber, I don't think it would have gone down the way Gabe would have wanted it to go down. I think it would have gone down swing, but the possibility of him killing Aaron may have made him pause. I think because I think Rachel's onto something. And I base this on all of the actions in season 10. Gabe has just had this, which gives me chills. Again, goosebumps. Gabe has had this like weird like confidence, like God told me to hang you, like just like no, and then like killing Dante, like doing him dirty, like oh yeah, oh you like that bitch, you like, and he stabs him in the stomach, like that sort of like, you know, like I'm on this. I've got like I was relegating it to like I got this guy on my side, I got God on my side, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And what makes it even spookier, because when we covered episode 1016, we were talking a lot about Beta the Prophet. We were like, Beta's fucking crazy. He's hearing voices, blah, blah, blah. But then at one point, we're like, how did he know that person was there if he, in his brain, can't see a thing, but he knows what the fuck is going on here? Is Beta a prophet? What the fuck is going on here? So there's that spooky thing the writers like to do. And so like now I'm looking at Gabe with a whole new light, like, okay, well, the writers love to fuck with us. I'm like, so wait, is Gabe the son of, not the son of God, but he's like a man of God, he's like untouchable? We know that that's not the case, but let me just get this out here. Is just like, first of all, he's not wrong about Dante, he's not wrong about killing Dante, technically, like you were okay with that. I think everybody was okay with that, oddly. Yeah. Like even though it was a shame to see him go, it was like, I guess this is the right move, right? And then like being so surefire about the whispers, you know, first of all, the miracle save from Maggie, he's just like Teflon, he's just getting by on his cocky whims, and I'm like, oh shit, is this guy touched? You know what I mean? Like, is this guy touched by God? But then you see him in this situation, the Russian roulette, getting past that situation, and everything that he's done in this episode. Okay, he gets mud all over him, and what happens right afterwards? Rain comes and washes his fucking ass off, right? I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? I'm doing it again. I'm literally doing that. I'm like, I laughed. I saw like the rain come and I laughed. God won't even let them go back. That's like, I'm thinking in my head, oh, this writer God, it won't let them go back. They're like, no, they have to keep going. God's like, no, you got to keep going.
He says, we'll just follow our tracks back and the rain comes. I'm like, you
little son of a bitch. I mean, sorry. I think Gabe feels like he has to be this way, that it has to be easy. So there's not another Dante situation, and he's not ready for it. He needs to be ready or feel like he has to. Stabby Gabe was a moment of rage and frustration. I think maybe, but I think he felt righteous. He weighed his options. He's like, it's literally, God told me to stab you in the stomach several times. You know, I feel like it was a little bit of that, but yeah, a little bit of rage. And now, now he needs to be in that mindset all times. Yeah, and I think at this point, he's sort of perfected it. He's like walking between like the fucking raindrops at this point. Like this guy can't be touched. I know that's not the case. We'll talk about that later. But like until now, he's just surefire, cocky, gets into a situation, gets out of it. Nobody can touch this guy. And it's fucking sexy. I gotta say it. See, Nisa's like, you're making it sexual. Well, I'm feeling it. So, man. When he's talking about the Reverend, right? He's laying this whole story about the Reverend George. He's saying like how he admired the guy for just being effortless, but always knowing to say the right thing. And he said something in particular, like Reverend George imparted some knowledge to him. He said, you just gotta be there with them. You know, the rest will come. You know, listen and just respond from the heart, right? Don't tell them what they want to hear. And then we get to the maze Russian roulette scene. And what is Gabe? The first thing Gabe does, felt like it was almost like a regression. He started telling Maze, like even from the first interaction, he started telling Maze what he wanted to hear. Like, well, you know, like he wanted to, like, oh, we're totally peaceful. Not true. We're a community 20 strong and armed. They're going to come after us. Not true. You're not speaking from the heart. It's only when that chamber went into the gun and Aaron's turn came that things just started whooping around. Now, like, obviously there was he started easing into that a little bit beforehand, but like once that chamber dropped, Gabe just snapped into the moment and he said, you know, you're full of shit. You know, this isn't you. This isn't a sign from God. This isn't something that you were supposed to learn from this lesson. You were just betrayed, man. And then he just keeps going into it. First of all, badass, cool, awesome. This is like next level Father Gabriel like again contrasting from when we first meet him. But then I got to thinking something else. Now take that, zoom out, look at the Gabe that was looking at all these scenes and going and moving on, and moving on, watching the people, the burnt bodies, the walkers, the tired walkers, and going, yeah, I saw a ladder, you know, that sort of thing. Go back to that scene. And the one question I want to ask you, is Gabe saying what Maze wants to hear? Or is this Gabe channeling all this shit from this episode that he's going, and actually letting out some truth and letting out some of his emotion? Because I am a little bit, I don't know.
Me personally, I think he was just being face value. You know, like, look, you don't want to hear any shit, and I'm not about to give you any. You know, like he gave him face value of what the situation was.
Do you think that's based on his own feelings, like him projecting, being like he was like giving from the heart, or do you think he was just laying it down? Was it wisdom, or was it just like he's finally letting people in on what's going on here in his heart? I'm pointing to my heart. I don't know why nobody can see me.
I don't know. I mean, to me, I think it was just in the moment truth. You know what I mean? I think that's what it was. Like the only thing that's going to get me out of this is just telling this guy exactly what. I would say probably from the heart then.
Yeah. He's just like, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to die, might as well, right?
Yeah, right.
Because until now, he wasn't doing that.
Right.
I thought he was being real, like when he first started talking, and now I now know it was total bullshit. I didn't believe a word he said.
To get Mace to relinquish, you're saying?
Because he killed him?
Because he killed him. He told him what he needed to say to get him on his side, so it was all bullshit.
That's interesting, because you see how the two different reactions? I'm more on actually the side of the heart, actually. Like, I was kind of like, the moment he let it out.
If he believed what he was saying, he wouldn't have
Why
killed
did he
him.
do that, right? That's why I'm asking the question.
If he believed anything he said, he wouldn't have killed him. That's why it was bullshit.
Right. I love it.
See, but
I love it. This is a perfect Squawking Dead conversation.
And I get it. I'm on board with that. But I mean, at the same time, who's this person to you anyway? And what does it matter what he knows or doesn't know? He had premeditated. He knew he was going to kill him. So what does it matter? Just say what you got to say to get yourself out of that situation. Yeah. It might have been from the heart. It might have just been bullshit. But either way, it got what he wanted done.
Right or wrong, Carol. Carol
I know,
with the
right?
Whisper War. I'm actually going to say this. I'm more on the side of it being from the heart, but with a caveat, because I think it's like next level. This is what I was saying before about next level stoicism. I think he knew he needed to be this way. He knew he needed to go for broke. I don't think it was like a Hail Mary. I think it was like, I've got to level with this guy in order to pass this moment. I don't know that he intended right then and there to kill Maze, but I do know just to pass this moment, to get his guard to drop, to maybe get him to pause enough to get in, because maybe he could have killed him then and there, but he couldn't. I think he needed to get Maze to pause just enough to feel something. Now, once he did, all bets are off. Now it's back to second level stoicism, but I think he purposefully used his emotions as a means to, let me read the quote again, to endure this moment patiently. Which is weird because, again, stoicism is the channeling of emotions in a manner of which to get you through a goal. Or some people say suppress your emotions. No, he used them. He used them to get past this moment. Everything that happens afterwards is him kind of going back into not Super Saiyan Gabe, but like regular Gabe, like regular just strong Gabe, sexy Gabe.
Yeah.
We don't want feelings Gabe, we want sexy Gabe. Again, he's exhibiting this tremendous amount of like emotional, I don't think he's a psychopath, right? First of all, we know Gabe. We have the luxury of knowing Gabe through time, which is great for the character. Okay, we've seen him being afraid, him reaching out with feelings, dating Jadis, in his weak moments too, being a dick, things like that. We have the luxury of seeing that. We don't have any indication that he's a psychopath. Even in the scene with Aaron, he's clear-eyed when he's like, not really, but like he's drunk, he's telling about Father George. You get this kind of like moment with Gabe. You are feeling Gabe's feelings. But I think there is some sort of, like we've talked about this before when it comes to TWD World Beyond, like these kids seem to get through their emotional traumas throughout this, couple months period of whatever they're on the road. But you see that here with Gabe. Like you see this like weird mastery, like he's mastering his emotions to get through the moment. There's no wavering like with Aaron. There's no trauma with like Aaron. It's this weird thing. And then the reason why I asked about like the whole, did he really dig deep with Maze or did he bullshit, is because I'm also, because the fact that he kills Maze afterwards, like you said, Rachel, is like made me pause a little bit. I'm like, wait, what is going on here? What the fuck is going on here? And then I realized you have to kind of go back to the monologue with Father George. He's letting Aaron know, I wished I could have been that way. I never could get to be that way. And then he found this moment where he could be that way. And he's like, I did it. I did it. And now he's like, okay, let me go back to old Gabe, because old Gabe knows how to kill people. But again, now I have to do this again, because this again, like we're peeling back layers, like, because it's making me fucking crazy. Because in the end, we have to go back to Gabe, the man touched by God. Because at the end of the day, and let's talk about this because I'm not sure if you all agree with this, I think he was right. I don't want to say that he's right because there's a part of me that's like, what the fuck did you do that for? You just killed a man in cold blood, sort of. Because we didn't know about his brother.
No, it was cold blood.
Yeah.
It was cold blood.
Yeah, it was cold blood.
Don't sugarcoat it.
I mean, again, I'm feeling all these feelings. I'm telling you right now up front. But like, we don't know about his brother up in the attic. We don't know. At this point, we don't know. Like, let's just pretend we're watching it for the first time. We don't know anything. We're like with Aaron. We're like, the blood all over me. And we're like, what happened here? Then you get upstairs, you see the brother in the attic, and now you're like, I don't know what to feel. On the one hand, the brother himself did this to Maze. And on the other hand, Maze kept his brother for like maybe close to 7 years at least, up in the attic, watching his desiccated family on the floor for 7+ years, probably. So now you're like, I don't know who's what. And then you go, why is Gabe so eager to help? And this is probably an easier question, but why is Gabe so eager to help the brother who made Maze this way, and rather than Maze himself?
Because he looks like a victim.
Right. That's why I say it's a little bit easier, because we're shallow people, right? No, but so like, given those two things, like, okay, let's go through I want to get Chris's reaction, because when you saw Maze get murked by Gabe, like, what did you feel in the moment? You're like, yeah, or were you like, huh?
I was shocked, but I wasn't surprised. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I was, because like I said earlier, there's no way that I'm bringing this person back to my group. And then once you see the years of torture, put yourself in that situation. This man's shackled. It looked like his wife and probably his kid, or did they just starve to death and he had to watch this happen? Kind of thing. Like the amount of torture that took place upstairs in that attic.
Yeah. But until then, he didn't know that, right? Like he didn't know.
Right.
So that's why I'm like,
So like when he whacked him, I mean, I was surprised but not shocked. You know, I was like, oh, I didn't see it coming, obviously, because I was thinking
you were shocked, not surprised. I think, right? Yeah, that's
yeah. And I was just like, you know, at first I'm like, oh, they're gonna bring this guy back to the group. It's gonna go south real quick, you know, kind of thing. And sooner before you know it, he's dead on the ground.
Right,
so.
right.
The thing is, Gabe could have been right. I'm not saying Maze was going to turn out to be a great asset to our group or anything, but he didn't even get shot. we don't even know. So, in my opinion, I think Gabe jumped the gun a little bit by killing him. He didn't even get a chance to prove himself or try to make amends for anything, which is what Gabe was preaching. You know, we have a community full of people who have lost their way and found it back again. And I mean, that to me fit Maze's profile perfectly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're already having problems feeding everybody in Alexandria. You're not bringing another mouth back.
That's another good point that I wanted to bring up also, that I didn't write in my notes, Rachel. Sorry.
Kill him?
Right. Again, so killing them. Right.
So kill him?
This is something that we actually...
You always know how I react. I mean, you know.
But 1017 illustrated that perfectly. Like, okay, we're having to divvy up the contents, or, you know, the remainders of Hilltop. There's already a strain. Everybody's looking at Negan like looking at dinner. You know, like, okay, when is he gone? Sort of, no, but like he's also sort of a savior, so they don't know what to do with him. Let me get through. Sharon was saying my reaction was like, holy shit, what? Oh, cool. Amazing. Fine. Okay, whatever. And then Nisa says, when he killed him, I was like, what? Oh, he'll be back anyway. And he was, and then he dies. It's like, but this kind of goes back to like, okay, how does, again, I'm okay for now, just to make it simpler for everybody, saying, oh, God told him that he should have killed him. I'm okay with that. Yeah. I'm okay with him going, boop. Yeah, okay, you know now. Do the thing.
How many times are we going to let Gabe get away with that, though? Oh,
You're
God
right.
told me to.
Oh,
God told me to.
What did I just say before? I said, I am on the side of Aaron. I'm on this side of this, like, Rick side, this hokey kind of, like, emotions, and, like, everybody's got a little good in them. Fuck you, David. Fuck you. That's how I feel about me. You know, but you guys have helped me to be open a little bit about, like, now I'm a faith healer. Like, I believe in faith healing. God speaks to Gabe, I'm with it. Okay, fine. Whatever the writers want, I'm there.
How many times does Gabe get to say God told me to?
Right, and be right, ultimately. Sort of, right?
Well, that's the thing, though. When you say God told me to, it doesn't matter what you do. Everyone's going to say, oh, it was right. It doesn't matter. Like, when you have God behind you.
So let's probably answer the obvious question, because I'm going to move it into a different question. Do you think Gabe was, I mean, given what you know about Maze's brother, what he did, what Maze had done to his brother all these years, did that change even in slightly what Gabe had done to Maze, like after the fact?
I was still happy.
Yeah, I figured.
I think,
but you were happier. Like, okay, I feel better about being happy.
Yeah. Well, because I think about the larger picture. Did he, obviously, he's the one who put all those people on the rooftop to suffer and die. I mean, that has to be the obvious answer to me. Like,
that was a different place.
The brother shackled. He shackled that person to the chimney and on the roof.
You think that was him?
I think he did all that.
You know what? You might be right. Okay, that's a good call, because if you look really closely...
There's a lot of similarities. Look at the walker who's tied to the post. Look at the person who's chained to the chimney. Look at the brother who's shackled.
So I don't know about the guy on the post, but at least the girl on the roof and the two people in the bed, those corpses had bullet holes in their heads.
Yeah.
If you look closely at the episode. And I was going to bring it up, and I was going to actually put it in my notes, but I was like, you know what? If it comes up, I'll bring it up.
Well, look at the bullet holes in the trunk for the soup, for the can of vegetables. Right. You know, like, he obviously has enough ammo apparently, because he wasn't afraid to waste any.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't notice any bullet holes in the corpses on the roof. I noticed a bullet hole on the corpse that was on the ground.
Yeah.
That was the one I noticed, because that was a totally different place from where Maze was even at.
Yeah, I'm not ready to say Maze was all of this, but I can see a world in which at least the rooftop, maybe.
But how do you know where he's been?
And you don't, yeah.
And I forget, I feel like either Maze said or his brother briefly said he's made people do this over and over again.
He said he made me play the game. He was talking about it with his family.
And if you look what Nice just said in the chat, it looks set up. those three people laying in that field look like they were placed there.
Yeah, by
you don't
by the crew.
You don't choose to die laying there, with your,
Yeah. I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah, and then, the same thing with, upstairs in the attic, all those people look like they were
similar.
Yeah.
I'm
on the rooftop.
I prefer more to think of it as, and because it's more beautiful, because I'm weird, that the fact that we saw all these bodies the way they were, and then we see the bodies at the end, and then you see like Maze's brother strewn across those bodies. Like there's finally an end point. Like, so in almost all the scenarios where we see the burnt bodies, we see a walker nearby. Like, so the one by the post is next to the one with the charred bodies. The one up on the rooftop, you have that one that was chained behind. Now, I don't know if it's Maze or not, but there's a weird finality to seeing the brother get, off himself in front of the bodies. Like, okay, at least these people have peace, right? There's like a weird conclusion. Like, I don't know if it was right or wrong. I don't know if it was this or that, but there's a little mercy there.
And to touch more on Gabe's little gangsterness, after the brother blows his brains out, he goes and picks up the gun and puts it in his waistband.
Right.
I'm like,
who did that just beforehand?
Gangster.
Fucking Maze.
Oh, Maze.
Yeah.
Maze did it. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I noted that. I was just like, oh, really, Gabe? Well, that's interesting. And I was counting on you to say one thing, though. Like when Maze put it in his front waistband, first of all, very sloppily. I was like, you don't do that. I was like, I literally had Chris in my head going, people get their penis. It's just not a good look. People don't really do that.
That's how you shoot your pee-pee off, you know what I mean? So.
I wanted Gabe to ask Maze the 3 questions.
Yeah.
That's what I would have liked to see.
There was no time between, bonk on the head. No time. But wait, so there's a bigger question here. Okay, I like this because we're honestly getting 3 different perspectives on how we see the situation. I'm confused. I'm just literally confused. I don't know how to feel. And I think that's the right place to be. I think that's where the writers kind of want most of us to be. They want us to be caught between Aaron and Gabe. They want us to be caught between, this is kind of fucked up, but in the end he was right, so I don't know how to feel. Okay, I'm going to say one word now, and then we're going to talk about it. Negan. Negan represents both sides of this coin. Negan did the thing, but then Negan was locked up, and he endured some shit, like the thing put me out of my misery, Maggie moment kind of reminded me of Negan at that, because he was also wearing denim in this weird way. And then, okay, so let's go back. Okay, and then Negan did the thing, was, I'm going to put you down a bat in the eyeball and the thing. So there's 2 sides of Negan here playing out a little bit too, because I feel like they do this back and forth thing, right? We see Negan on the road going, "Hey Maggie, what's up, bitch?" Sorry. I feel like he's generally like trying to tread softly. I don't know, Negan be Negan and all back here, but like still he's trying to turn over a new leaf, let's say. But who knows in the back of the mind. But then we have this episode, and then I'm like, are they trying to get us to kind of to look at Negan now like with the same lens that we looked at him in seasons 7 through 8, maybe a little 9, and then season 10, and then like look at both sides of this coin and say, what about Negan? I want you to be confused about Negan because we're going to do some fucked up shit.
See, I looked at this and I thought, if they can forgive Negan, why not give Maze a shot after everything Negan's done?
That's what I felt initially, right? Right when that moment was happening where Gabe kind of, and okay, we're going to pause a little bit because when Gabe does it and I'm like Robert Patrick because it's Robert Patrick. Maybe this is just me, but I cannot remember the last time, and maybe there's a little bit of bias. Okay, I love The Walking Dead, whatever. You see some really stellar performances. You see people really dig deep, but I can't remember the last time I saw Robert Patrick and I felt something. Like that sounds mean, but like, look, Robert Patrick knows how to deliver a performance. He's been typecast before. He does that really well. But like when I felt him go, I can't be wrong. Like I can't be wrong. I felt him confront that what if I am wrong moment. And it didn't hit me in the first watch, but in the second watch I paid attention to it. Because you're kind of just watching the show, you're doing the overview, but when you actually start to write the notes, you're like, oh fuck, this guy is like, what the fuck did I do? I killed my own brother. Like, or like I look, how many people did I fucking kill with this trick? Oh yeah, when he says I know who I am. When he says I know who I am, that like and like the little spittle comes out too. It's like that really like that kind of broke me a little bit, because like here's a man who's going, I know he's saying I know who I am, but you're really hearing maybe I don't know who I am. Right. And he's just tears in his eyes, and like I don't think I've ever seen Robert Patrick do something like this ever. As
far as performance wise, they got the right guy to deliver, that's for sure.
Like perfect, like snarky with the because he comes in kind of like I'm a boss, I know it, and I know what I'm doing. Yeah. Bore, yeah.
And I know yeah, exactly. and they ate it. Did you think it just walked itself in there?
Yeah. It smells good, doesn't it? Yeah, maybe can I have some? It is mine after all.
Right.
But then like this, you start getting deeper and then it starts getting serious, and then it gets really intense. And then him saying, "Father, I don't believe you. Like, I don't believe you." Like, he just can't reconcile this thing. Because
when he called him father, that got me.
Yeah, because then he was being real with him. Again, Gabe, like begets like. It's like now he's matching him at his intensity, at his level. Oh. And then like, okay, it's all because of Aaron, though. Aaron was about to do the thing to himself. He was about to, and then he's just like, I can't be wrong. And then Father comes in with the fucking 1-2, with this like a really heartfelt 1-2. Then you have these good vibes. You're like, yeah, maybe he can be part of the community. Yeah, sure. Like they have Negan after. Yeah, I was thinking Negan at them in the moment. I was like, what makes him different? What? I mean, they'll probably have to lock him up for a little while. Whatever. Like we'll move on. And then the thing happens, and then Gabe just bippity bonk, and you're like, what? What? Yeah. Again, shocked but not surprised, like you did. I don't know. I was a little bit of both. But second watch, you're like, and then the attic, and you're like, okay, but God was right about it, so I guess I have to write it off now. I don't know.
And that's the thing. I keep getting I keep getting, like how Morgan says he can't die. Like, he can't. I feel like right now Gabe is in that I can't die mode. Like nothing can kill me kind of thing.
Apparently Morgan still can't die, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, I feel like he's treading a very, very thin line. I don't know if they're setting us up for something terrible to happen to Gabe. Fearful of that, but at the same time, it's like, are you setting the stage where he's on this high and mighty roll and it just ends up coming back to him tenfold? I don't know.
Let's hold on that, because I want to save that for last. Oh boy, do I want to, because it relates to what we're talking about here. It relates to the touched by God thing, the confident, sexy Gabe. We're liking Gabe. Their show is getting us to somewhat, mostly like it's trying to get as many people as possible to like Gabe. Why? Well, maybe we know, maybe we don't know. And again, fucking maybe we're wrong too. With as much nuance and like looking at the visuals, you're like, this is a fucking beautifully visually choreographed episode. I mean, between the opening shots, the way we see walkers, and again, maybe you did feel something for the walkers, maybe you didn't. I'm weird. I did. I felt like something weird. I felt like, why am I feeling something for the walkers? Blah, 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 whatever. But it is a pretty simple episode. Like, with as much technical detail there is, it's pretty cut and dry, Sure.
It's brought, like, I said at the beginning of the show, it's brought back to basic survivalism. We're scavenging again. You're brought back to your beginnings where you had nothing because everything's been destroyed all over again.
Starting from scratch, right?
Yeah. Alexandria is nothing, it's been ripped apart. And, you got these two trying to bring back some kind of salvage as far as food or whatnot, and it's just not happening.
Yeah, and we have to go back to, like, I don't know, maybe stoicism, but like survival, right? Like you said. Yep. I mean, Aaron, it'd be nice if we can go around taking people in, but we can't do that right now. It's just not practical.
Really, exactly. I will say that Aaron's face, after Gabe whacks him, and they panned in on Abe, and it's just like the absolute distraught look on his face. Like, what the fuck just happened? With the blood splatter, the eyes wide open, and just like this look of fear. Like he was afraid of Gabe for a minute there.
Yeah. Which is why I said the role reversal. Like, this is what Gabe must have felt when he saw, like, was it Tyrese was there too? Tyrese, Rick, Sasha, and Abe, who was in Four Walls on the Roof, just macheting and beating the shit out of people.
Oh, yeah. God.
Go back to that scene, and Aaron is Father Gabriel in that scene. Like, what the fuck did I let in my house? And so we're again, I like it's like the yin and the yang, the little reversal. Like, it's so fucking fun to watch. This because to get something like this so perfectly crafted in a way that kind of makes us see the other side, like, oh, Gabe is now the guy with the machete, literally with a fucking machete.
Right. Yeah.
It's you can't write this more perfectly, because he's been with a machete for a while. It's not like they just inserted the machete. It's not that they just inserted the blood splatter. Like, everything had to line up, like, start to ramp up just right to where you can get to this moment and be like, I'm Rick now. I'm Rick. Yeah. Like, I told you I'd make my promise, and like, boom, and then attached to the fucking head. Yeah, bitch.
Yeah. And I think it's amazing, kind of like when you think about the cinematography, the beginning of the show with the blood splattering on the flowers, and then you bring it to the end with the blood splatter and Aaron. you know? So
Oh, yes. Yes. That's the thing. That's you fucking nailed it. You fucking nailed it. Aaron is like innocence.
yep.
You know? Oh, Rach. Yeah. I'm sorry. But yeah, and Sharon kind of puts it perfectly. Aaron was all of us. And Aaron is all of us. We're the flowers. We're just, you know, fucking growing. We're just watching the world right now. We're fucking little shits.
I almost squeezed out a tear when Aaron had the gun to his head and was going to pull the trigger. And like the look, like, ooh, that look almost got me. And he's like, don't you want to see your daughter? And he's like, yes, I do. And I'm like,
yeah, on that note, like, did you feel like Aaron might have said more to get like, say goodbye to Gracie, which sounds like a line from an old movie. Say goodbye to Gracie for me, huh? Like, no, it's just like, say something like, you know, tell my daughter I love her. Like, I thought something was.
I was waiting for that.
Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. Why didn't that happen?
Because he didn't die.
I have like a weird answer. It's not sufficient, but like I felt like because Gabe was like locked into Aaron at that moment, and I felt like they kind of just like beamed in data to one another from that one eye. The one, is it this one? No, it's this one.
No words needed.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, okay, I will. You know, like what the? Oh, okay, this is what's going on.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. It's a good choice. Like, I mean, if you're not hip on the game and not paying attention, you'd be like, yeah, why didn't they? Is Aaron like unfeeling? Like, no, they just beamed the data to technology. Come on, people.
Smart beamed it.
Yeah. I'm reading the chat right now. Aaron was all of us. My machete, we're just sharing. Okay, well, you know, if you say so. Goodbye, Gracie. Gabe heard a rumor. Oh, God. Umbrella Academy. I mean, maybe. From God.
Oh my God.
Sharon. Okay.
God told him a rumor. Oh
okay.
My gosh.
Okay. I know the gap we need to fill right now. This is it's called a bugaboo and it's in my fucking bonnet. Okay, do you know who the distiller is for the bourbon, the $2,000 bourbon bottle?
Oh, I didn't even think we were going to do this. We're doing this?
We are going to do this. Yeah, we're going to do this.
All right.
I'm so fucking mad. I need to get it. I'm you, Chris, right now. Now I'm the Father Gabriel and no, I'm the Chris.
Is it a Tennessee company? I don't know.
No, it's Dwayne Jones Distillery. Okay.
Okay.
Now, I have no problem with that. That's kind of cool. A little throwback to Morgan's son, right?
Oh, okay. No?
I'm going to tell you, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at the show. I'm not mad at Talking Dead. I'm mad at some, I should pull back a little bit because I'm gonna smash some creators who think this and I'm also gonna be smashing some fans who think this too. But there's a contingent of fans who like see the Dwayne Jones bottle and thinking Morgan's son is still alive. Morgan's son is not alive. He's not alive. He's dead. Dead.
He's with Madison.
Yeah. I mean, how the hell would he be brewing? How the hell would he be distilling whiskey anyway? I mean,
that's a whole other side of the coin, right? It's like, let's use logic here.
Yeah, he found the bottles, he made the labels, he did all this in a zombie apocalypse while he was, 15? Sure.
So people are going to know who this is, but I'm not going to call him out by name. But there is a certain creator that not only made one video about this, but two. Like before and after the episode aired, still like doubling down on this, theory confirmed, Dwayne Jones is alive and will show up on The Walking Dead before it's end.
What?
Again, I'm not going to blow that creator spot. I'll edit it out maybe later. Like, I'm like, and you know what makes me more mad than anything else? Let's show my own vulnerability right now. Fuck this guy. He's got 50,000 followers on his YouTube channel. And I'm like, I can't even crack 1,000. Like, what the fuck, people? Like, do I need to blow his spot so I can, like, get more followers? Yeah, I won't do that. I can't. It's not the show.
Lying and negativity is the way to go,
the algorithms.
He knows the... So I don't want to do that, right? So anyway, like, this... I have a problem with the contingent that because in the end, Talking Dead, I love that they spelled it out. Dwayne Jones is an homage to the actor who was in the original Night of the Living Dead. Okay, that's it. That's that. End of story. No theory confirmed. He's not coming. And this is the worst part about it. I actually had to think on this, like, because what if they do somehow bring Dwayne Jones back? These fucking people are going to be like rejoicing about being right, but like not about any of the evidence that they had. It's like, like none of the shit that they said that proves that Dwayne Jones is coming back ever checks out. But the fact that he comes on the show means that, we're right by proxy. Like, we're right based on nothing. It's like, it's like somebody that says God exists and all the evidence doesn't point to anything, really. Let's just be honest. Okay, I'm not making this decision this way or that on that topic. But what I'm saying is, but like the second God speaks to everybody all at once, we're like, okay, but we didn't have any evidence to prove it. But okay, fine. I believe now. I mean, I have no choice because God's in my fucking head like Gabriel. That makes me mad more than anything. It's like, if they finally do it, fuck everybody. Anyway, I needed to get that out there because there are still people who think that, and I'm like, get some real proof. This is not real proof. It's not real proof.
Well, I mean, even Gabe kind of, puts that to bed when he says it's a vintage whiskey. It's like, I don't know, what does he say? It's like 100 years old or something like that. Something outlandish, it's a $2,000 bottle of whiskey that's however many years old. So like, you can't even put a timeline to it.
I mean, it's at least 10 plus.
Yeah,
plus
I don't know.
16 years. I think it was like a 20-year bottle come 30, right? So
it's just, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and Sharon says it best. It's the showrunner's trolling, but it's not. It's an homage to the actor who played in Night of the Living Dead. But I like Sharon's answer anyway. It's the Super Troll Brothers. It's Kirkman and Gimple all over again. I don't believe a word they say. Wario and Mario. Being serious for a second, because I really wasn't being serious. I just kind of needed to get some feelings out there. But Nisa says it best. It would destroy the whole Morgan Jones journey. It would make everything that he's gone through just like, it's too much. It's too much to deal with, There's not going to be like any real huge reuniting. He's not even going to come to the same show. Like he's not going to Fear the Walking Dead. He's going to The Walking Dead. It's too far. It's too far. Now, what do you got, Rachel? Because I know you have some things that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah. First up is the Skelehorse in the beginning.
Okay, please go through that because I made note of it, but I'm like, it was bleached too, like a bleached skeleton. Yeah,
it had been there for quite a while. But what I noticed, and we'd have to go way back in the chat, but Sharon had brought up, she had brought up she was looking for keys, right? I kind of thought the same thing, but I didn't notice any keys.
Oh, wait, be specific because some people don't watch Fear the Walking Dead, but...
Oh, the keys are worn by Virginia's rangers. So if you are a ranger or Lawton or whatever settlement, you wear a key to represent that.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see any keys. What I did notice is the scarf or ribbon or whatever you want to call it that was around the head of the skeleton was blue, just like the band in Strand's hat.
Ooh, that is sexy. I like that. Oh, man. Strand's death confirmed. And yeah, I mean, you have to also keep in mind, right? These guys have been out there for 2 weeks. They're using Maggie's map to look for food reserves and possible places there may be food that they hadn't checked out. I'm not saying they went like to Texas. I'm just saying, well, they're a little bit out of the way, right? They're 2 weeks journey or in and around the circumference of fucking Alexandria. So
I'm not even saying that was Strand, but it's a little.
No, I'm not either. But I'm like, but what if?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of.
Okay, Nisa says Strand and Aaron are endgame, but maybe because we keep thinking, Cole is on the show for Aaron to, but
Cole.
Like, what if it's Strand, but
I did, but I did kind of put Cole out there, didn't I?
But like now I like this because like Strand, like duplicitous.
Aaron is way too good for Strand.
But that's what I'm like, opposites attract. Like Aaron is like just like the soul of the show. Like now he's like if Rick took a shit and all the goodness came out of him, Aaron.
A good shit.
And then Rick is now all evil and shit now. I don't know. Superman 3, whatever.
He's with CRM, who knows?
But like Victor's like this duplicitous guy, and these two get together. They're like a yin and the yang, and they're like, I could see them knocking boots. I could see it. They're both kind of funny too, right? Charming.
The Walker sleeves were fucking awesome. That's all I want to say about that.
Wait, actually,
that was pretty cool.
Let's take that further. Like, again, these shows, we're like, oh, that's happened before, right? But then we're like, no, that hasn't.
Nope.
This is like one of those. I'm surprised that hasn't. The embalmed Walker in Fear the Walking Dead. We're like, oh yeah, they did that. Oh, they didn't do that. They're like, oh shit, that was cool the way they did it. So like, this is like a duh thing. It's always a duh thing. Like, oh, we've seen this before, right? Oh no, we haven't.
Nope.
Throws it like a rubber glove.
Oh, I spent a lot of time studying the playing cards. I wanted to know exactly what hand Gabe had.
Okay. Just before that, though, I want to say, when they were sitting down and eating dinner, those cards were all over the floor.
Yes,
so
they were.
They took the time to pick up all the cards just to play a game. And I thought that's such a good reflection of like just when Gabe talks about the whiskey.
Yeah.
And again, that's such a fucking good description of stoicism. Again, I want to latch onto this as much as possible. Only a stoic would take the fucking time to pick up every fucking playing card and just be like, and not like want to fucking shoot themselves in the head for having to do it, because they want to play, they want to get through the thing to get the reward, to play the game, right?
I would have done it hands down. If I saw playing cards on the
do
floor,
it. I don't have to do shit. Sorry.
Hey, 52 pickup, you have to be 52 pickup.
Okay, you don't forget, my dad was a magician, so when I see a deck of cards, like, I have to put them together.
Yeah,
like,
but deck cards on the floor?
Yeah,
that shit.
they have to be together. I need to bring them all together.
Oh, you know, there was that obsessive compulsive side to me too. Yeah, I was like, oh, this will not do. No.
I can't look at this.
Oh, yeah. So we have to mention Charity, actually, and I'm going to put it on the screen now because Charity, thanks. Yeah, now I have to do it. Compulsion. Charity mentions that scene with Aaron and Gabe does somewhat parallel John and Rabbi Kessner in Fear the Walking Dead. They're both kind of across from each other, talking about life and talking about John's past. And there's a little bit, Gabe talks about his past a little bit, but it's loosely resembling, yeah.
So, from what I could tell, I could not, no matter how much I tried, I could not see the very last card on the table. The flashlight was shining at it too bright. There was just too much of a reflection. But what
Aaron's
I could
hand
make
or
out,
Gabe's?
Well, we never see Aaron's cards. I mean
I saw a little bit of it.
I mean the public hand.
Was it the river? Like all three cards?
Well, the flop was
cards.
a nine of spades, ace of spades, and a three of hearts. The turn was a ten of spades. I think it was a ten of spades, and I could not see the river. Could not make out the river. Gabe was holding a two of hearts and an eight of spades, so he was bluffing a flush.
And you know who had the flush? Aaron.
I did not see it. When did you see Aaron's cards? I watched that scene 12 times.
Those are the easiest to see. From
when did you see them?
When he's about to he's like deciding whether to go all in or not, he's like moving the whiskey, you see a king of either clubs or spades through the glass. It's up. It's like it's facing up. Like he's like so drunk, he's like, here's my cards just for everybody to see.
Okay.
And
I started watching at the pan around.
So I can
when it was panning around the table.
I can see how Aaron, this is like this is why I should never play poker, but I'm like Aaron. Like I don't double down. I don't throw it down if I don't have it, unless I'm panicking, and then I do. But Aaron had either a king of clubs or spades, like because most of it was spades, so he had the flush and a two of spades.
Which is weird because if he was holding the king of spades and the ace was showing, he knew he didn't have the higher card.
But if Gabe had any value above two with the flush, right? Because Aaron had the two and king. Gabe didn't even have the flush.
Right.
Yeah, like is that? But when you're playing poker, you're like, I got a king and a two. If he has a king and not a king, but if he has a queen,
can't have the king. Right.
Right. But if he had like, I don't know, like an ace and anything above two.
The ace was showing. He couldn't have had the ace.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
telling you. If Aaron had the king of spades, he should have known he had the hand.
If you have a queen and like even a four, doesn't that beat?
Not a king. King beats a queen.
Okay. All right. So I think he was thinking high card or something. I don't know what he was thinking. Again, don't put me on the, I'll shit the bed. I'll shit the bed in poker. I once tried to play a three, because poker, you have all these different combinations. I tried to play like a three pair or something like that. Like a pair three was like, I can't remember what the hand was. I tried to play something that didn't exist.
Okay.
Because the cards can be interchangeable. Like, I have this here, but I have that there. Like, no, you have to. It's the best one that makes it. I'm like, no, but I have it. Like they're like laughing at me, and I'm like, don't laugh at me.
I like playing with newbies who think they have a straight, but it's all like different, like red and black suits.
Oh my god. It's like, yeah, no.
Like, so close, but no.
Charity's like, makes note to play poker with Dave. Yeah, I'll lose my shirt.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. The very last thing I noticed was at the end when Aaron and Gabe walked past the pictures of the twins. I thought to myself, I wonder which is which.
Oh, definitely the one on the right is Maze. I don't know why I thought that. I don't know why I said definitely. I just thought like the one on the right has to be Maze because I thought I saw Maze's brother's family behind Maze's brother. Maybe I don't know.
Like in the other picture.
maybe in the other it was the other picture that got me to think that way, because obviously Maze's brothers with the other thing, you really can't tell the difference. It's still Robert Patrick. It's the same literal, but here's what I was thinking. Again, sometimes we make you laugh. They couldn't get an older picture of Robert Patrick. We know Robert Patrick from T2, and maybe they could have pulled some promo photos from back then. I don't know.
That photo had to be. You're saying he should have been younger. Is that what you're saying?
A little bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking it looked about 10 years old, but okay, maybe.
Like maybe from the X-Files days or something. Like, split the difference here.
Right.
I'm not trying to complain. I'm just like, there's that funny part that breaks me out of the moment. That's like, he just took that yesterday, right? He's like, sorry. I'm not trying to because it's only because we know Robert Patrick as this iconic T2 face, straight face, kind of young with the ears. Remember the ears? He doesn't have those anymore, right?
Yeah.
They're now firmly taped on the side of his head. I don't know.
Ears.
I mean, he's filled out is what I'm saying. I just didn't want to say it, but it just, that's all I'll say about that. I'm going to get myself in trouble again. Get Dave canceled for saying Robert Patrick's fat. Cut. Can we cut? Maybe.
This horse skeleton pickup was pretty good. I was thinking of those the road worker guys there or something like that or something. But that's all the cowboy guys there.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about linking it to anything else.
I had thought I thought maybe that was there also to kind of, again, it's not always going to be about something that's literal, but sometimes you're supposed to see something and it's supposed to evoke a memory that you have built in. And the memory that I have, the last memory I have, at least on TW, about a man on a horse is Rick. Right.
Yeah.
So I thought that was intentional. You're like, oh, this is happening soon. You get ready for it. Oh yeah, I remember Rick. Because then you're looking at Aaron and you're looking at the best parts of Rick, sort of, in a way. I mean, the beard, the attitude. We have to bring people in. Everybody's got to work together. That sort of. There's a little simpatico going on there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So I don't know what the show's trying to say. I don't know why they're doing this or bringing this memory up. I feel like they're slope. Sharon D actually said that in the comments in the chat a little bit ago. How I don't know if it's Sharon D or Nisa, so correct me if I'm wrong. But the idea that the each of these episodes are the 5 stages of grief in a way. There's the remorse. There's the denial. Carol. There's I'm sorry, but I was right, bitch. but you're going through it, okay? So there's regret. There's bargaining at some point. Oh my God, which one is that? Which one is bargaining? That's the next episode. And then there's acceptance. Yeah, maybe.
Negan's bargaining.
Bargaining is princess. That's the next episode.
Oh.
Acceptance.
Oh yeah.
Acceptance is neat. Holy shit balls.
Woo.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Now I got to look at this whole fucking thing from the lens of, come on. Why do you got to make more work for me, MC?
Actually, Negan's not going to be acceptance. There'll be one before that.
Oh. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. Oh boy. Depression, right? Isn't it? It's the 6 stages of grief, right? Not the 5 stages.
I thought it was
bargaining, 5. Depression, acceptance.
Anger, denial.
Bargaining?
Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance.
There's 7 stages of grief. How many episodes do we have? 6?
6.
Okay. Denial.
So maybe they're leaving one for them to start off the next season.
Maybe. Oh, obviously, here's the thing. Okay, let me read this version of it because the 7th one can't count. And I'll tell you why. Shock and denial is the first one. Pain and guilt is the second one. Anger and bargaining. There's a little bit of that going on in this episode. Depression is the 4th one. Not looking forward to that one. The upward turn, they say, is the 5th one. Reconstruction and working through. Okay, I know. It's a new one for me too.
It's kind of acceptance, I guess, right?
Yeah, but no, acceptance and hope is the last one. That's why they leave that last one off, because it's fucking TWD. Fuck you, TWD. Fuck you, AMC.
Why do you hate us?
What is this, torture porn season 7 and 8 all over again? Fuck you.
We love you so much. Why do you hate us?
So many F-bombs dropped on this episode today.
I think this might be a record F-bomb episode.
I think so too. Anissa says they don't always. Anissa, again, resident psychologist for the show, at least. She says denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. So they don't always use all of them. And
those are the 5 I'm familiar with.
Right.
Yeah.
She said they used 5 in WandaVision. So yeah. I like how Sharon D says, I know she meant, have you seen this boy? But she spelled it buoy. So
buoy.
Have you seen this buoy? And then
That's even funnier.
That makes me think of that early Tenacious D song, stabbing you with my buoy while I'm naked.
No, she No, she meant buoy. She said.
You meant buoy?
Yeah, because she said it had resembled. I think had something to do with fear.
Keep going. I want to see.
Says, have you seen this buoy? Hardcore fear.
But I don't get it. I'm stupid.
The alligator episode?
Oh, really?
Is that where we're going? I don't know. I'm trying to think of like water.
She's trying to like desperately now, frantically write it out. Oh. She means buoy means fat because she's making me say it. This is the problem. Because nobody can see her. I'll take. You know what? I'll take it. She says it's because it's fat Robert Patrick. And when he says
fat,
when he says this, he's pointing to his stomach. Have you seen this? This buoy? Have you seen?
I didn't think he was that big, but I mean, maybe he was.
I thought he had a lot of layers
clothing.
on. Yeah,
a lot of clothing.
That's what I thought.
Because layers are slimming, right?
Yeah.
That haircut, though, man.
That was rough.
Where's he been getting his haircut? Oh, rough? I thought it looked great.
It was rough. Really?
Oh,
it looked great.
Are you referring to the wig, or are you talking about like the side cut, the side thing?
I'm talking about his hair. That was his hair. Yeah.
Sharon says he got a little bit of the Dwight facial.
Oh,
You're back, Rachel.
Yeah.
You're back, Rachel.
The Dwight special.
Well, we talked about the leather jacket elephant in the room, sort of, about Negan. Because I don't think we really came to a conclusion about that, really. Like, Maze, Negan,
I don't see them as the same.
But
no, I don't.
But
either.
in like general concepts, like, okay, if Gabe can't give, I'm just in the terms of Gabe, like if Gabe can't give Maze like a hearing, you know, why is it different for Negan in a way? Is it time? Is it distance? You know, what is it? You know, like I wonder how Gabe, like, I mean, let's put it this way. Gabe's evolution happened somewhere in the time jumps. You know, or like using in the midst of some act. I don't know which. What I do know is Gabe has had the luxury, or we've had the luxury of seeing Gabe with Negan over a long span of time, right? So is it just time that makes it forgivable? Does Gabe see Negan in a different light now? There's a part of me that goes, okay, I know, because this is going to lead us to our next discussion, by the way. Given all that, does Gabe still see things in black and white as a result of this episode? You know, does he see Negan in a different way? I don't know. I have no answer for that. Maybe he's just made him past the wall. You know what I mean? Like past the wall of us versus them. Get like, oh, he's in our community. Nothing I could do about it.
For all we know, it could be a thing that, you know, you learn from your past. You know, should have killed Negan, it would have been over, or all the torture would have never happened. So maybe it's a lesson from the past. Just kill the guy. You don't have to worry about anything.
So Gabe, this is like the Michonne question. So Gabe of today would not have let Negan live.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's funny. I love when we get these kinds of like, oh, would Michonne of today have saved Andrea? Would Gabe of today have spared Negan, right? Oof.
Right. Yeah.
That's some shit right there. Which leads us to Gabe's not going to get it. I'm going to say this out loud. I'm saying this out loud. I feel like I have to be the one. I'm using the step of acceptance right now. Gabe is not going to hang around long. I can't. It's hard. Gabe is not going to stick around long enough to find out, it seems. Because at first we saw the tower and we were like, Gabe's death. No, I wasn't like, you girls were like, Gabe's definitely going to get Gabe's death. And I'm like, no, yeah. And then it didn't happen. And I was just like, football arena style cheering in the fucking end zone going, holy shit, did that just fucking happen? That just fucking happened. Holy shit, Gabe is alive. And then we see the water tower. I'm like, come on, motherfuckers. Come on. Come at me, bro. I could take it. I don't know if I can take it, but now I'm saying it. Gabe is most likely going to get Gabe's death. Yeah. And I honestly don't know how. I love being surprised, but at this point, like you said, Rach, when is his luck going to run out? Is it all of it has led to this point to where he can survive this moment? Because I hear it's a noble death. I don't know still. I hear it's somewhat of a noble death or somewhat of a beautiful death in the comics.
Sure, I guess. Suppose some people might have that opinion.
Well, I know Carol has said as much. It's an honorable or noble death or something to that effect.
But I mean, who knows how they're going to spin it in the show?
Right. That's another factor. And again, there's I hate this part of me that goes, will they spare him again? I don't.
Yeah.
I feel like so many people have gotten their comic book death. I think it would be wrong for him not to.
Yeah.
But then again, I mean, we only have 3 episodes left, and who knows if it'll happen in season 10? Because they're gonna jump to another story next week.
Yeah,
and it's like, so where are they going to fit his death in?
Yeah, that's, oh my God. So, oh, no, but
Season 11.
I feel like, okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like they said something in Talking Dead about I thought they said we were gonna see this before the season's end, or something with regards with the tower. I could be wrong. I should have watched Talking Dead again, but thought.
Yeah, unless they squeeze it into
somebody else's episode,
a finale or something. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna say two things from the chat. Sharon says, first of all, don't worry, a bounty hunter will pull the tower down and he'll be fine. She's referring to pulling Morgan's water tower down in Fear the Walking Dead. So then Gabe will be fine. But then she says something else, and now we have to talk about it. Because again, this is a perfect Squawking Dead question. What if Aaron gets it instead? What if Aaron gets Gabe's death? And that seems more noble to me than Gabe at this point in some ways. Like, because Gabe isn't a bad guy. I feel like Gabe still isn't a bad guy. He's doing what's right according to Gabe, you know?
Not a bad guy.
But I feel like they're setting us up for Gabe to die. They always, I don't know. It's kind of like it's a thing they do. They've done it in the past. And I feel like they're setting up, even in this episode, leading up to this episode, it's just he's riding that thin line right now.
Right. Just like Negan gets to kill Alpha. It may not have happened exactly. It didn't happen exactly the way it was in the comics, but it still happened. He still pulled the trigger, let's say.
Right. I mean, look, anything's possible with these writers.
Oh man.
I don't see them killing off Aaron though.
I think you're right too. I mean, they're still doing this thing where like we can't kill kids. We can't kill kids anymore after Darabont sort of did it. Walker Sophia, the teddy bear girl, famously. Like, okay, we got a lot of flack for that from the right wingers or something. I don't know what the hell they got because they didn't do it. They didn't kill Judith.
Michonne.
Which we didn't see. Like we didn't see them. It was
implied,
right? Okay, so Nisa's saying if Maggie saved Gabe from his comic death, what if she gets it? I mean, here's the thing. This is what I want to make clear, because I too am in denial. Maybe I'm the only one in denial here, but it's gonna be Gabe. It's gonna be Gabe. All signs point to Gabe. They wouldn't do that to Aaron. And I'm gonna say this out loud. They're too gun shy about ripping dads from daughters. They're not gonna do it.
And they're not bringing back Maggie just to kill her in a couple episodes.
No.
Well, I think they could, but not here. They're too far out.
Yeah.
They're too far out.
Right. I think she's part of the end game. I think she'll be part of the group that, carries the torch to the finale.
I hope so, actually. I do like practical Maggie. I do like practical leader Maggie.
Yeah.
Even if she is broken right now.
You're actually going to be surprised because I feel like they're almost throwing Gabe's death too much in our face. Like, ha, and then it's not going to happen.
I would normally agree with you, but I feel like AMC / The Walking Dead, let's say The Walking Dead is doing this thing where it's like, honestly, it's like Sadiq in the barn. Open your eyes. You know what? You're going to see this coming, and you're going to see it coming all the way. Your eyes are going to be wide open, and we're going to do it. It's not like the whole veiled, okay, do you remember, like, obviously, everybody remembers, that was at the end of season 6. We don't know who died in Negan's lineup. No, your eyes are going to be open. You're not going to look away. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Even I'm saying that.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. And I think I gotta say, it's a new tactic, and I kind of gotta give him props for it. Because it's like, what's going to happen. Here's the water tower. Here it is. Get ready. Buckle your safety belts. Nothing's gonna keep you safe. Nothing is gonna keep you safe. That's it. Gabe, end game. Gabe is end game for himself.
Rationally, like, why would you go to a water tower with only 2 people? You gotta know that's gotta be one of the most well-protected things in the area.
Again, like, I don't think any of them are thinking rationally. Like, just like the fucking boar thing, like, Maze says it best, is like, you think that boar locked himself in his room, in that room itself?
Yeah.
I think they're, like, running on fumes. And I don't know. And also, there's another factor to this, right? I think all these guys think we've survived this long. We're masters at this. We're good at this. No, you're not good at this. And we're going to remind you of how not good at this you are. A la Gabe's death. But actually, I wanted to touch on that a little bit because every episode seems to remind us of something that Carol said out loud in the last episode, which was, our lucks run out. And like, this episode sort of, even in some ways, like, makes us think just a little bit, and they say it out loud too. Maybe our lucks run out. Maybe this is a bust. Maybe we're saving something that's not meant to be saved. And all I have to say to that is, I feel like this is what the saviors must have felt like when they were trying to hold the sanctuary up. Charity says, she should have said hashtag, but hashtag end Gabe.
And Gabe.
And Gabe.
Yeah, maybe their luck has run out. And then, of course, enter the Commonwealth and then all that bullshit. Like, we don't know how this is going to be. I do not think it's going to be like the comic books. I think it's going to be somewhat like the comic books.
I hope it's better.
Yeah, I hope it is too, because it looked very funny. Some of the still photos are in the intro. I'm like, oh shit, this gotta be different.
Well, to be fair, Gabe's already lived past the comic book. He died during the Whisperer War.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Which
he's
again
already been on borrowed time.
This is kind of a tick in your corner, like, oh, it's too obvious, so maybe that time has passed. Or same thing with Zeke, right? Too. Zeke is dead in the comics way before this on the Pikes.
Oh yeah, he was on a Pike.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't do this. I know it's going to happen. Don't do this. I'm not reversing course on this. I'm not. I'm going to accept it, move on. I'm not. But isn't this better than the lineup where we don't know for a season? Like, we know it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going, and then it doesn't. And then I'll be happy. Let's just square that circle. If Gabe survives this, I'm good. I'm not going to be mad about it at all. I'll be like, hats off to you, Walking Dead. I'm still a fan. And maybe more so. You fucking did that. Fuck you. I still love you.
He was on Talking Dead for a reason, I think. So
yeah. There's even kind of like a side eye to that. Like Jim Barnes was kind of like almost alluding, yep, when comics fans see the water tower, it's like, oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Gabe is end Gabe. All right. Next week is the princess episode. Basically,
yeah,
we caught a glimpse of Lance Hornsby from the comics, and he's wearing a version of the CRM armor that looks a little like the Kingdom armor. If I'm being honest, it makes him look like he has weak shoulders. Like, do you know what I mean? It looks like it doesn't quite fit. When wardrobe does this, they're making a conscious decision. Just like Morgan wearing Benjamin's armor. It's not, to be the thing that helps you survive. It's literally an homage. But for Lance Hornsby, it makes him look less threatening than he's not threatening. He's just not. It just seems like it. He's just not. He sounds threatening. I love that deep voice, motherfucker. Again, we don't know what to think because we don't know what this Commonwealth is going to be like.
Well, I like that what you said about it making him look non-threat, because kind of is non-threatening. Like, he wants to be
not non-threatening,
but he tries to be. Like, he's like, I'm important, but most people are like,
especially Princess.
So yeah. So if they're already kind of setting that up with his appearance, I don't know. Maybe we'll see a similar character.
But like riding a bit of a less comical line.
Yeah.
I think it was just funny that they chose to give him armor because he doesn't have armor in the comics. I know this for a fact.
Right.
Which some people complained about, by the way. Motherfucker Lance Hornsby doesn't wear armor. And they'd be like, okay,
it's probably just an appearance thing, and then you won't see him in it ever again.
So wait, Nisa, are you saying Lance Hornby is the big threatening bear you want to hold? I'm just confirming here.
Yeah, that's what she means.
I just want her to confirm that, because that's you have to. I want you to qualify that a little bit, like, well, or maybe you can elaborate on what you think she means. Because sometimes it's Nisa, and I'm on the same page with her most times. Like like hugging Gabe. I want to hug Gabe, not me. Just this whole look. Yeah, again, that voice.
Yeah, that voice is something else.
Yeah, baby. when we tooled the that first season 11 teaser that we got in the interview room.
Oh yeah,
that was his voice. You can see that video here.
Yeah.
And I'll put it in the description.
Yeah.
It's a separate video. Overall, the fact that The Walking Dead can like still shock us in some ways, because I feel like it's been a while, haven't you? Like, in a weird way, it's been a while since we've been shocked.
Yeah.
Like, not since
They
Father
always shock
Gabriel
me.
was saved in the tower. It was like, holy shit, what? Ah! It's only because we know, and that's half the reason why I'm shocked. But this episode, him whacking Maze over the head, that was out of nowhere. That was like, I did not expect that at all.
Yeah, I guess it's been a minute since I've had a holy shit moment, but
Yeah.
they always surprise me. I'm always like, ooh.
Yeah.
like Rick biting Joe the Claimer's
Yeah.
throat out, that kind of shock moment.
Right.
Like, when is the last time we got to see that? The
Like
Pikes,
Daryl
maybe?
jumping up in the air and stabbing Beta square in both eyes.
Nice, but not shocking. Like, it was
Yeah.
satisfying, not shocking.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, even again, to draw a parallel with this, like the Pikes, we knew they were coming because the comic book. So again, it's like knowing the Titanic's going to sink, but you want to see how it goes down. But like, when's the last time we've seen something shocking? Okay, maybe Negan having sex with Alpha. I don't have any feelings towards that. Everybody's like, yeah, gross. I'm like, it's cool. I'm cool with it. People need sex, whatever. Dirty, gross, feces sex, whatever. I don't care. It doesn't bother me.
Black socks.
You know, you be in the apocalypse. You see if you can get, not get it when it's presented to you. I challenge you. Suspect. Looking at you with side eye. It's over. Great episode. I think we all agree, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Insane. I'm just hoping the next episodes just keep ramping because it feels like the first few were kind of a slower burn, moving up. Now we got this episode. Now we got the Princess Commonwealth episode. Maybe we'll get somewhere. I feel like she's going to get tossed around the room a lot, Juanita Sanchez. So maybe we'll get somewhere. And then obviously we're going to crescendo at some point to the last episode, which is the Here's Negan episode. If you enjoyed what you've listened to so far, head over to ratethispodcast.com/squawkingdead. 5 stars and eggplant is all we need to know that you love us. If you want to write more, let us know. Let us know what you like. Let us know that you want to cancel us. Just do your job. Just tell us in the ratings. Give me 1 star. Give me 1 star and like a feces emoji. Yeah. 5 feces and a star. I'll take that. Anything is actually good. Hate is good too. Hate. We feed on your hate. And if you really like or hate what we do, head over to ko-fi.com, set up an account, and follow us. Just follow us on ko-fi.com/squawkingdead. When you do follow us, you'll know when we do some behind the scenes shit because you'll see a little locked post. But if you decide to give us a coffee, you have access to all those locked posts for 30 days. And if you subscribe to a coffee a month, the party just keeps on rolling. We got some perks coming up soon, some shit that we thought of in the pre-show that if you do buy us a coffee, you can listen to now because now you can download this unedited episode, right? And then you know all the shit that we talked about you behind your back before we started the show. Don't you want to know? Anyway, yeah, ko-fi.com/squawkingdead. Follow us there. Don't buy us a coffee. I challenge you not to. That's right. I challenge you not to spend money on us. Yeah? You can't do it, can you? Gotta give us all your money. I know you don't. It's a lie. It's denial. Anyway, take care, everybody. I'll see you next week. Fucking love you. A lot of F-bombs. Go fuck your mother. Chris, it was great to have you on the show. I feel like I was more energized with your presence here.
Yeah. Happy to be back.
Yeah, man. The prodigal son returns. And Rachel, as always, a fucking main homegirl, as they say, back in the 80s, 90s. Love your face. Sharon Dini said, love your fucking faces. Some really good insights today. Making us laugh behind the scenes, you pieces of shit.
Oh my gosh.
Fuck you too. No, I love you too. And guys, good night. See you next week. Bye. Enjoy the next episode.